is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I actually have a quick YouTube exclusive for you guys today because, guys, we are in the dog days of not only the summer, but we're in the dog days of the NFL season as well. To give you a timestamp as I do for all of my videos, today is Monday, July the 14th, 2025, and what coincides with the dog days of the NFL season is list season, and we're right smack dab in the middle of list season, and one of the most prestigious lists over the last couple of seasons going into the NFL seasons is Jeremy Fowler's ranking of a plethora of positions. I think he ends up ranking all 11 positions across the football field for offense and defense. So he kicked off that list today. And what makes his list so prestigious is that he actually, scours, the sources of NFL coordinators, NFL coaches, NFL front office, media members and things. NFL front office members, nobody in the media, excuse me. And I want to be specific when I say that, and I want to make the clear divulging between the two is that, this list isn't coming from your favorite opinionated tweeter, right? These are guys that, get paid NFL checks. So this list comes with a sense of credibility that you might not see on a Bleacher Report list where the editor of that or the author of that article is cosplaying as, their favorite Eagles tweeter or their favorite Commanders tweeter or things of that nature where there's some clear bias. That doesn't come with this list. That's why this list is held in higher prestige and comes with more credibility than a lot of the other CBS Sports. No shot to you guys. It just is what it is because Jeremy Fowler is actually talking to guys that are going to be coaching against these guys on Sundays, or guys that, have looked at these guys come draft season or looked at their film week in and week out as they have prepared for these guys throughout the season. So Jeremy Fowler's list piques my interest every year. And I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that he kicked off the list with the top 5 quarterbacks because that's the most polarizing position in sports and is arguably going to get the most traction. So it's no surprise that he kicked it off with the quarterback. So let's see what he had to say because I have an inkling that he's not only him, but everybody across the league is very fond of that golden boy right there. That's on the wall right there, down in the burgundy and gold. That's why he's the golden boy. And Jayden Daniels. But the first footnote that I wanted to point out before we actually get into the list is that he actually did, a couple of cliff notes based off his article before he deep delved into it. And one of the last footnotes, it says that the league is not concerned with the possibility of a Jaden Daniels dip in production at all. Emphasis on that at all. So all of those Eagle haters, all of those Giant haters, all of those Chicago Bear haters that are telling you that a sophomore slump for Jayden Daniels is coming, I suggest that you listen to the guys in the NFL that got to prepare for him week in and week out. And not guys that's mad that he beat them with a Hail Mary. That he ruined their fandom for the 2024 season with a Hail Mary. Or not Philadelphia Eagle fans who their mayor showed that they're not very bright. They're not very bright in Philadelphia. And I know the Eagles fan base is more far and way more wide than just Philadelphia. But y'all just got to hold that L for a minute. I need one of y'all to go on like Jeopardy to reclaim your IQ back because the league is spoken. The league is spoken. You can give me all the malarkey about, we're not worried about lists. We're worried about Super Bowl trophies and things of that nature. And I 100% agree. I would rather a Super Bowl trophy than a list any day of the week, right? But it's kind of odd that whenever a Philadelphia Eagles fan is trying to convince you that Jalen Hurts is better than Jayden Daniels, even though the league doesn't think it, one of the first things they point to is list. They talk about wins, which is a team stat, and then they talk about like rushing touchdowns. They talk about where he ranks on the list of rushing touchdowns, career rushing touchdowns. Like he's not in there getting rammed in his ass from the 1 yard line. But I don't want to bury the lead too much. Let's get into the rankings and what the NFL thinks about the quarterback position. And let's see where our guy, the golden boy, Jayden Daniels lands on the list. So number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. Not a surprise, but Jeremy Fowler said that he is loosening his grip on the number 1 spot, which I'm not honestly surprised to hear that because Pat struggled last regular season. And then, the last image that we've had is him struggling in that Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. But I do still think that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. He's a winner. He's a guy that's been proving it for, almost 8 seasons at this point. So he's going to need more than one bad regular season to knock him off of the number 1 spot. In my opinion, especially when, the guys that I assume are behind him, and like Lamar and Josh Allen, those guys haven't beat him in the playoffs yet. So I don't think that they can surpass him on the list, no matter if they had a better year than Patrick Mahomes last season, which I believe both of them did. I believe that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen had better years than Patrick Mahomes. But you got to knock the king off the hill, and they weren't the guys to do it. So I can't let them surpass him on the list. Josh Allen comes second. The reigning MVP. It says Allen's standing in our top 10 series has been a journey and a point of contention in Buffalo. Since the series started in 2020 until 23, Allen's place in the quarterback pantheon was universally celebrated among voters inside the league and highlighted in this piece annually. He became unquestionably a top shelf quarterback in the league. By the end of the 2023 season, turnovers had started to mount. So Josh Allen, he actually cleaned up his turnovers a lot last year. And they won outside of against the Chiefs in the playoffs. I think the Bills won like 13-3 last season, so they won. Like I said, the reigning MVP, so no surprise with Josh Allen coming in at 2. Joe Burrow at 3 is a little bit of a surprise. I don't know if he had a better year than Lamar last season. I think they might be buying the quarterback hype. Quarterback just came out last week, so it might be a little bit of recency bias. They saw Sociopath Joe and got a little bit scared because the way that he been talking in those episodes. If you know, you know. If you watch quarterback, you know that Joe Burrow a little crazy. Joe Burrow's a little crazy, and I think that the NFL owners and coaches might have been a little intimidated putting him ahead of Lamar. But Joe Burrow's a baller. He had a prolific season as well. And that's what they said his best way to describe his 24 campaign. Leading the NFL with almost 5,000 yards and 43 touchdowns on his way to coming a second comeback player of the year award. Burrows makes a compelling case as the game's most accurate quarterback. His 70% completion rate against the backups, against the backdrop of a league high of 652 attempts in 24 is impressive. So Joe Burrow coming at 3, even though he missed the playoffs. Not really his fault, but you got some guys that's some proven winners. And if this is a last season list, you got some guys that won a little bit more than Joe Burrow. Lamar at 4. And those are like the 4 horsemen that I expected to be in front of Jayden Daniels. But I'm telling you right now, and I haven't really seen this list, but Jayden Daniels better be number 5. Jayden Daniels better be number 5 because these are the only 4 quarterbacks that I think are better than Jayden Daniels going into the 2025 season. And honestly, I think that you can argue that Jayden Daniels had a better quarterbacking season than the guy that has that number 1 spot in Patrick Mahomes. And as I mentioned, that might be a little bit of a legacy award, a lifetime achievement award. But if we're talking about the 2024 season, Jayden Daniels, if he's anywhere outside of the top 5, I might fly to Orlando myself and smack Walt Disney. No, not Walt Disney. I might smack Mickey Mouse at Walt Disney. Walt Disney dead, right? I'm sorry, bro. My bad. But Lamar Jackson coming in at number 4. Reigning MVP runner-up. Jackson is the most breathtaking player in the league. He might be the most favored to as of now. Depending on who you ask. And he was close to winning the 3rd MVP last season. In fact, beating out the actual MVP for first-team All-Pro status in an unusual split of the honors. Winning the 3rd award will put Jackson on the short list of so-called accomplished that first names aren't even necessary. Manning, Rodgers, Brady, Favre, Brown, Unitas. What Jackson did last... Yeah, Lamar had an amazing season, but he got to get it done in the playoffs. I know this not a playoff list, but my guy got it done in the playoffs as a rookie. My guy led us to NFC Championship game that we had a 30-year drought of as a rookie. So I could argue Jayden Daniels above almost everybody on this list, maybe outside of Josh Allen, to be honest. Because I told you, I think he had a better year than Patrick Mahomes. But I said, if he's not number 5 on this list, I'm crashing out. And let's see. Okay, crash out aborted. Because at number 5 on this list comes our guy, the golden boy, Jayden Daniels. And to be a top 5 quarterback after your rookie campaign is a hell of a feat. You see, he wasn't even eligible for last year's ranking because he was a rookie. He didn't lay his groundwork in the NFL yet. And boy, when he did, he hit the ground running. I'm reading everything that they said about Jayden Daniels because, I can't get enough of the Jayden Daniels Glaze Fest. I told y'all, we straight as a line over here. But we get a little gated for Jaden every now and then. We do get a little gated for Jaden every now and then. And this is one of these moments where we about to fan out. Because I've never seen any type of list that had a Washington Redskin, football team, commander, quarterback in the top 5. Never in my life. And I'll be 30 in November. Let's see what they say. Daniels' phenomenal rookie season demanded an appearance somewhere in the top 10. Facts. That he pushed his way into the top 5, narrowly outdistancing Stafford in the voting, shows voters have no problem validating his hype. Last season, Daniels posted the 4th highest QBR in the NFL, 70.6, the best mark for a rookie since Dak Prescott in 2026. Dak who? But he was even better on 3rd and 4th downs, recording a league-leading 95.3 QBR on those throws. A machine on 3rd and 4th down. What Dan Quinn say? He steals your soul. He steals your soul. When you think you got him on 4th down, he laughs in your face. Single-handedly took one of the worst franchises to the NFC title game as a rookie with a bad defense, one legitimate wide receiver, and a dinosaur as tight end in Zach Ertz, and an average at best, oh well, said an NFL coordinator. Damn, he flanked the shit out of us. Who the hell is that? That got to be like Bobby Slowick or somebody that we fired before. He just flanked the shit out of us. I mean, he ain't lying, but like dinosaur and tight end, that's rather harsh, bro. The kid can read coverages, throw with accuracy, and touch all over the fields, just as dangerous as Lamar and Josh Allen with his legs, and has the clutch factor to him because his team already believes that if he has the ball with a chance to win, he's going to find a way. If he repeats anything close to his rookie year, he's no longer the number 3. He's no lower than number 3 on this list next year. Shit, he's no lower than number 1 on this next year. Because I don't think I've mentioned it, but there's a reason why Jayden Daniels is in top 5 for odds at every sports book for MVP odds for the 2025 season. There's a reason that he's in the top 5 at every sports book. DraftKings, Bet365, Barstool, ESPN Bet. Anywhere you look, Jayden Daniels is going to be firmly entrenched in that top 5 for the 2025 MVP odds. And I'm telling you now, go ahead and put your kids' tuition on it. Thank me later. Thank me come February when he donning that burgundy and gold suit and picking up his award at the NFL Honors. Now, he might not be there because he's preparing for the Super Bowl. Let me not get too ahead of myself. Sometimes the year 1 hype can be tough to replicate. C.J. Stroud landed at number 7 last year and struggled at times in year 2. Though he has shown enough to convince Houston he's clearly the long-term answer. Some around the league are at least asking the question of whether Daniels' play would taper off a bit as defenses adjusted both him and Washington's offense. But the consensus is Daniels has too much going for him. Won 12 games with a mediocre at best defense and just a decent offensive roster around him. Because he's him. Y'all giving me all these words to say or to just sum up that Jayden Daniels is him. System he plays in requires him to play off schedule and make plays with his feet on a regular basis for success. And he's still solid in the pocket. Oh, he's more than solid in the pocket. Pause. That sounded crazy. But he's more than solid in the pocket. Y'all know if you've been tapped into the NFL and if you more than just a casual, through the draft, through mini camp, through training camp, everybody was like, oh, Jayden Daniels, he's a running back and quarterback. Can he throw over the middle? Jayden Daniels got 50 highlight-worthy throws over the middle last season. And I might be cutting him short. He got 100 highlight-worthy throws over the middle last season. Like, what the fuck was we watching? So, Jayden Daniels, clearly the best quarterback in the NFC East. That's why we're always going to have a chance as long as number 5 is healthy, donning that burgundy and gold, because the gap between him and the next best quarterback, well, let's see what the NFL got to say. Because I was about to say something crazy, but let's see what the rest of the NFL got to say. We got Matthew Stafford at number 6. He ain't in the NFC East. We ain't got to worry about him. Justin Herbert at number 7. Herbert over Goff? Goff coming in at 8. They must have saw Goff crying on Netflix and said, yeah, we got to drop him down a couple points. He a little soft. Goff at number 8. And then the next NFC East quarterback, Boris Kojo, Jalen Hurts, coming in at number 9. So there's about a 4-spot gap in between Jalen Hurts and Jayden Daniels that Yet you want to hear Philadelphia Eagle fans tell you that, Jalen Hurts, they been making memes and photoshops of Jalen Hurts sitting at the King's chair with Jayden Daniels looking like he giving him head, or they called it bowing at the knee. They hella freaky in Philly. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all be on NFL Twitter. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Buddy who made that Photoshop was wild. It was so wild, I might have to make the vice versa for the thumbnail. I might have Jaden Daniels sitting at the king chair and Jalen Hurts bowing at his feet. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that for the thumbnail. Let's get a rise out of the Philadelphia Eagle fans. It's the season's right around the corner. It's time to start talking that shit. Let's see what they say about Boris Kojo. Jalen Hurts' status is cemented. It is. He's a Super Bowl winner who plays big in big moments. He's the most potent short yardage quarterback rusher in NFL history. He's the most potent getting his ass pushed by the offensive line quarterback rusher in NFL history. His streak of 4 consecutive seasons with 10 or more rushing touchdowns is the league's longest ever for a passer. He's one of the game's most accurate passers, ranking them first in completion percentage over expected plus 6.6, and he throws a beautiful deep ball. All is true. That touchdown pass to Devontae Smith in Super Bowl LIX was a Superdome-sized work of art. I'm not even about to read all of this because he ain't worth it. He ain't worth it. The 9th best quarterback is not worth me reading the entire article clipping. But the NFL has spoken. The NFL has spoken. I've said time and time again, Jalen Hurts is a product of his team and his environment. The Philadelphia Eagles, hell of an organization. They've been a solid organization since I've been watching football in the early 2000s. And he has a hell of a team around him. He had the best defense that we've seen in the last 5 years and 2 number 1 wide receivers. Need I mention the fucking demigod that he has at running back in Saquon Barkley, who almost broke the rushing record last year? In any team ranking, I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to be ranked higher than the Washington Commanders. I'm not delusional. But you Philadelphia Eagle fans are delusional if you expected Jalen Hurts to be higher than Jayden Daniels on this list. The NFL has spoken. The NFL has spoken. Jayden Daniels doesn't almost lose that game against the Rams last year in the playoffs. Jalen Hurts did. Almost lose it. Y'all got that Super Bowl. Shout out to him. He doesn't fuck up. That's a great trait for a quarterback to have. But he's a glorified game manager that just so happens to squat 600 pounds. Let's see the next quarterback on the NFC East, from the NFC East that falls on the list. So nobody else is in the top 10. C.J. Stroud fell out of the top 10. Jordan Love fell out of the top 10 as well. So damn Dak. Cowboy fans, I know y'all sick. After being media darlings for the last 20 years, it seems like everybody turning on y'all. Seems like everybody turning on y'all because guess what? They know Jayden Daniels is in your division now. They know Jayden Daniels is in your goddamn division now, and you ain't going to be able to compete. It just is what it is. Philadelphia Eagles roster is too stacked not to compete. But other than that, Dallas Cowboy fans, New York Giants fans, I feel sorry for you. So let me know what you think about this list. Are we appropriately ranking our quarterbacks? How we feel about Jayden at the top 5? Me personally, I think it might be a little too low. I think he might be top 4. Y'all know I made a reel that went viral last year. Almost got 10,000 likes. Where I said that Jayden Daniels was playing better than any quarterback in the NFL. So y'all know I'm not sizing it. It's not hyperbole when I think that he honestly should be ranked number 1. I fully expect him to be ranked number 1 next year because he had a better season than the guy that's ranked number 1 now. Didn't have a better season than Josh Allen and Lamar, but he's already shown more in the playoffs than them guys can dream of. So that'll do it for me. What y'all think? Let me know what y'all think about the list in the comments. As always, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification on, so you're not missing any of this content that Bleeding B&G has when you're watching the Commanders. And as always, I'll check